Hello. These notes are over surface area of prisms. Surface area of a prism is the sum of the areas of the bases and the lateral faces. Okay, so your rectangular prism will look like this. If you unfold it, the bottom, what it is sitting on, are your bases, which are here and here. And then these faces around the rectangular prism, okay, are called your lateral faces. Okay. So you've got to find the surface area, so the area of all of the faces, you're going to do the sum of the bases and the lateral faces. Okay, so think about like wrapping a present. Okay, you're finding the area of all around the entire box or rectangular prism that you are wrapping. Okay, there is a formula that makes this a little bit easier. 2 times the length width plus 2 times the length height plus 2 times the width height. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do when you're finding the surface area of a rectangular prism is I label everything. So down here, this would be my length, this would be my width, and this would be my height. So now when we plug into the formula, we're always going to use 3 for the length, 4 for the width, and 7 for the height. We see that there is a 2 here because there's 2 sides, a front and a back, 2 sides, left and right, okay? And then the bases as well, top and bottom. So you always multiply it by 2. So here we're going to do 2 times length is 3, width is 4. Length is 3, height is 7, width is 4, height is 7. Think back to order of operations. You always want to multiply each set of groups before you add. Okay, so we're always going to write the formula down, then substitute, and then begin to solve. Okay, so we have 2 times 3, which is 6, and 6 times 4, which is 24. Double check all these. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 7 is 42, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 7 is 56. Then we can add at last 24 plus 42 plus 56, and we get 122. Look at our labels. It's inches. It's surface area. Area is always squared. Okay, so that's how we would find the surface area, the area of all the combined faces and bases. Okay, look at this next one. This next one, it has been laid out like this one up here, and we're still finding the surface area. Okay, another way we can do this, okay, we can use this, but you also can kind of fold it back up if that makes more sense. Okay, make it a rectangle, and I'm not really 100% sure how to make those, but you get the idea. Okay, and we could say that 3 is the length, 5 is the width, and 6 is the height. So those are the 3 that we would use for the length, the width, the height. Okay, I'm going to start on the first line with the formula. Surface area is 2LW, 2LH, 2WH. You do not have to memorize that. You'll always be given that. We can substitute in 3 for the length, and the width is 5. Length is 3, height is 6, width is 5, height is 6. And remember, we're going to multiply all three sets before we add. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 6 is 36. 2 times 5 is 10, times 6 is 60. So then we can add 30 and 36 and 60. So my surface area is 126. It is inches again, squared. Okay. So those are rectangular prisms. On the back, now we're going to go to triangular prisms. We name the shape by its base. Remember, the base is what it's sitting on. So if you look down here, it is sitting on a triangle. And remember that to find the surface area of a prism, you're doing the sum of the bases and the lateral faces. So to find the sum of the base, it's the area of a triangle, okay? So we're going to find the area of this triangle first. This is what it looks like if you were to unfold it. Let's talk about the dimensions of this triangle. Guys, remember that you always look for this little right angle, okay? That will tell you that this and this are the base and the height of the triangle. This 5 is the diagonal. Remember, we don't use diagonals. So if I come down here, 3 is the base, 4 is the height of the triangle. So I'm going to substitute in 3 is my base, 4 is my height. 4 times 3 is 12. Half of 12 is 6 meters squared. That is one triangle, right? That's maybe the bottom. The top is going to be the same, 3 by 4. So you're going to do the exact same thing and multiply your answer by 2 since there's a top and bottom triangle. Okay, you have to remember everything is multiplied by 2. So we're finding the area of the base of the bottom, which was 6. The area of the triangle at top is going to be the same as well. So the 2 combined would be 12. So that's one of our answers. Now, if we go back up to this triangle, I'm going to erase. Now we're going to add it to the lateral faces. So lateral faces, think there's one here, there's one here, and then guys, there's the one in the back as well. So there's 3 faces to a triangle, correct? Okay, so we're going to look carefully and do the lateral faces down here. These are all rectangles. So area is length times width. Okay. So I have a 3 by, this is 6, so I have a 3 by 6. I have a 6 way back here by 5. And then I also have a 4 by 6. Okay, so then I have to find the area of those 3 faces. So I've got 18, 30, and 24. So I have the 2 bases of the triangle, which are 12, and then we're going to add all the lateral faces to get a total. So 12 for the triangles, 18, 30, 24. The area of that triangular prism is 84 meters squared. Okay. Let's look at another one. We've got 3 more. I'll do one more and then you can practice doing another one. Okay, both of these are triangular prisms, the first 2, Okay, again, the base, let's talk about the base first. That is what it's sitting on. It is sitting on a triangle, right? So you're going to find the area of a triangle first. Look for that right angle. That's going to tell you 5 is the base, 12 is the height. So we are using 5 and 12 for our dimensions of the triangle. 5 times 12 is 60. Half of 60 is 30 meters squared. We're multiplying it by 2 since there's a triangle on the bottom and top. Okay, those are the bases. I'm going to write triangular base. Now, since it's a triangle, there are 3 lateral faces. Okay, I can see one right here. It's a 13 by 3. I'm going to put lateral faces. And there should be 3 of them. 13 by 3. 13 times 3 is 39. It's going to be one of them. Down here at the bottom, I've got a 5 by 3, which is 15. So I got a 13 by 3 and a 5 by 3. And then back here, I've got a 12 by 3. Or 36. Now I can add up the bases, which is 60 for the 2 triangles, plus 39, 15, and 36. 150 square meters. Okay, now I would love for you to pause the video, do number 2, and then you can go ahead and use the formula from the front of the page to do the rectangular prism for that 3rd one, and then unpause, check your work. Okay, for this second one, again, you see triangles. It is sitting technically on a rectangle, but that is, we're not going to count that as the bases. Okay, it is a triangle here and one back here. It is a triangular prism. Okay, it's not a rectangular prism. You see the triangles, so the triangles are its bases, even though it's not lying on the triangle. Okay, so we're first going to do the triangle. Look for the right angle. It is a 3 by 4. So half of 12 is 6. There's 2. So my bases are going to be 12 centimeters squared. Then for your lateral faces, okay, I've got a 4 by 4, which is 16. Let's see, I've got a 5 by 4, which is 20. And then I've got the 3 by 4, which is 12. So then to find the total area, I can multiply 12 for the 2 triangles, 16, 20, and 12. So total area of the triangular prism you should have found is 60 square centimeters. Okay, and then for the last one, I'm going to use the formula for the rectangular prism, 2LW, 2LH, 2WH. I'm going to say this is the length, this is the width, this is the height, and then start plugging in. 8 for the length, 8 for the width, 8 for the length, 5 for the height, 8 for the width, 5 for the height. Multiply all 3 sets first. 8 and 8 is 64, times 2 is 128. 8 and 5 is 40, times 2 is 80. 8 and 5 is 40, times 2 is 80. So 128 plus 80 plus 80. You should have got the surface area is 288 square meters. Okay, that is it for the surface area of a triangular prism and a rectangular prism.